Here we go. Welcome to your Mercury Retrograde chakra reading. So we'll take a look at the 7 main chakras and see what we get, see what will be coming up during this period of time. So starting with the root chakra for Mercury Retrograde, January 30 through February 20. Oh, super interesting. Okay, let's just start with this since we have 2 cards already. 3 of Cups and 2 of Cups. Super interesting. It's coming out for the root chakra. So Virgo, okay. So a couple of things are coming to mind. First off, during this period of time, you might feel, I want to say kind of down and out. There's almost like this thing of feeling like, you're missing out on some of like just the basic pleasures. Okay, so if that's the case, then then make sure that you're setting aside time to spend time with the people that you care about, whether that's your relationship, whether that's your friends. Interesting. So I'm picking up like on perhaps like a loneliness, not feeling like you belong. If you're not with anyone, you might be feeling like, when is it going to be my turn? So, because that human connection, tenderness, affection, touch, all of those things are, those are basic human needs that we have, right? So if this is what you're feeling, then make sure that you make a concerted effort to not pay attention to these things when it's bothering you. Be preemptive and make it like a regular thing, like you're actually planning it out, like you do everything else. Okay, so sacral for Virgo. Sacral for Virgo. 9 of Swords. Okay, this should surprise you, Virgo. Excuse me, because you might be like worry about stuff anyway. It's not too hard to kind of have a little bit of anxiety creep in for you. So it's interesting. So if you're taking care of this, Virgo, then this is probably not going to be as big of an issue for you. Because this to me is like the overwhelm that you will experience when you get real close to burnout. And that's for you, Virgo, that is something that is definitely a loop for you. Check in with why you might be keeping yourself super busy. That's something that I had to kind of come to terms with towards the end of last year. Are you seeking approval? Are you trying to hide your shame? What is it exactly? And then you get like, super anxious when everything goes like really haywire, or there's just too much going on, and then you hit that burnout. Okay, so solar plexus. Justice card, Sun card, 10 of Cups. So there's something here that may come up during Mercury retrograde that you thought was going to be like the balancing act for you, that you thought was going to make everything copacetic. You might have kind of had your hopes set. I don't want to say too high, because it's not like we can't create. That's not it. But it's more like you really banked on something, thinking that was going to be like the key to everything, and it just still hasn't happened yet. Okay, that's the key word with the that I'm That's the operative word that I'm using here, because the Ten of Cups is in reverse. So you might be kind of feeling like, man, you know, especially in that power center, it's like, you know, you might be second guessing yourself. Did I make the right decision? Is there something else I could have done to kind of change things and turn them around? Or, you know, do I just need to check everything and revamp? No, that's not really it, Virgo. You have to just be a little bit more patient. Okay. So hang in there. Do not let that need for control take over, because usually when we have need for control, then we put like a timestamp on everything, and then we just, you know, and then that sets us up again for that whole anxiety that we talked about in the sacral area. Okay. Whew, heart for Virgo. Heart for Virgo. Heart for Virgo. Mercury Retrograde, please. Heart for Virgo. And we have only one card. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Stop with the perfectionism, Virgo. Speaking from one Virgo to another, okay? Because with this being in the heart center, you're just really wanting everything to be top notch, everything the way that you envision it. Not that you can't make it that way, but perfectionism is twofold. Perfectionism is like there's an element of control there, and remember that we can't control anything else besides our energetic field. Everything else we have only influence over. And I don't use the word only lightly, okay? We have to manage our energy first. Second thing is perfectionism has everything to do with shame. So we're trying to avoid feeling shame by making everything perfect so no one can critique or judge us, and therefore we won't feel the shame, okay? So work on that, Virgo. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? If everything was perfect, you've learned all your lessons, and then it might be time to check out. Okay, so throat chakra for Virgo, please. Four of Swords, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So, excuse me. So before you speak, before you express yourself, one, make sure that you pause before you speak. Maybe you might need to learn to listen a little bit more. And secondly, okay, so secondly, that's what I thought, that you, how should I say this? When you're going to express yourself, don't hold back so as not to, you know, not to have the tears come out, or don't hold back to the point where it's like you're holding all this anger in. There's other ways to express yourself besides just in just a conversation with other people. If you need to express yourself artistically, maybe you need to scream into a pillow, maybe you need to sing a song, you know, maybe you need to do something else that's going to comfort you. So that way, when you actually do speak, you're not speaking from like a wounded feminine energy. Okay, and that's ungrounded, because if you are talking from, especially from fear or anger, it can just turn out to be really distorted, and the other person's really not going to get the message that you intended. Okay, so but pause before you speak, or just give it a rest and just listen. Okay, all right. Third eye. Third eye. Third eye. Anything else for Virgo? Third eye. Chakra. Nope. Three of Wands. Virgo, remember that even though you tend to like to be right majority of the time, there are different layers of truth, okay? There are different viewpoints, different vantage points as depicted by the birds here. And you see how, you know, there's 3 wands all standing upright. This is what I'm saying, there's different truths. So be understanding of other people's viewpoints, and understand that what's truth for them at this time is truth for them at this time, and that's okay. Remember that everything outside your energetic field has permission to exist, including what people want to believe or think or feel. So it's all a choice, and you have a choice also. So one, you don't have to impose anything upon other people. Not that you can't express, but that's for people who want to listen or who are asking. But also too, be open to seeing what other people think. Right, Virgo? Okay, sometimes you do, you know, you're a deep well, but you know, sometimes when you feel that you're right, again, it's like the whole thing about cutting things off or people off. So make sure in the third eye that you keep that openness, so that way there could even be more knowledge for you to integrate. Okay, make you an even deeper well. So crown for Virgo. 10 of Wands, Empress in reverse. Okay, so you're ending a particular cycle and you will be birthing something completely new. Okay, but it's gonna take some time for that. So whatever cycle it is that you're ending right now, especially with Mercury retrograde, right? Because there's a lot of the karmic stuff that you're going to be releasing, and then it's going to be a whole new you, right? So pay attention to whatever loops, programs that you've kind of been stuck in. So when I say that, I'm referring to stuck patterns of behavior, stuck patterns of thinking that are really not serving you. It's going to make itself really, really evident, especially because I do have a feeling you're going to be really aware this particular cycle. So pay attention to what that is, and you're going to have to let that go because it's a burden now at this point. Whatever you adopted when you were younger as like a coping mechanism, it's not working anymore. And so you can really step into this Empress energy. Look at the confidence, the strength, the foresight, right? So that's what's coming up ahead for you, Virgo. So release, let go during this period of time. If this resonated with you, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.